everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'll be doing my makeup in the Oslo airport. Now technically this airport is not in Oslo itself, even though it's called the Oslo airport. It's actually on Gardermoen, which I think is about 20 minutes out of Oslo, so it's not in the capital itself. But if you don't know why I'm here, I have been on a month-long little trip abroad. I was sent to Spain through my university to go present my research at a research conference, and I did my makeup outside of a cathedral there. Then I went to go visit my long-term internet best friend Trude in Norway because I was relatively close to her compared to coming from South Africa. And we did a lovely video together as well. And now I am finally on my way back home, all on my own. And I decided to do a video while I was stressfully waiting for my flight. Now the reason it was so stressful was I had booked my flight and everything before I even left home. So I knew this was the day I was going to be flying back to South Africa. And because of that, we had plans for when I got back home. So not only did we have an event the evening of the morning that I landed, plus a presentation that afternoon, but the next day was my own bachelorette party. So I really needed to get back home. These weren't really events that I could move. Now I did everything I had to do. I made sure my flight was ready. I did my pre-check-in. I got to the airport and then I wanted to check in again and print out my boarding pass because I like having my physical boarding pass in case my phone dies, and so I can stick in my bullet journal after the trip. But when I got to that thing, it said, no, my flight didn't exist anymore. It's been cancelled. I need to pick a seat in a different flight 1 day from now or 2 days from now. And I was like, hold up. I can't be flying home a day or two later. I kind of need to fly home today. And I definitely don't want to risk not getting on a plane right now because I'm confused and then having to pay last minute for another flight back home. So I was like, what is going on? We tried clearing everything, doing the process again, and it said the same thing. So it's not like I clicked on the wrong thing. We then went to a counter to ask what's going on, and we had to walk almost all the way to the other side of the airport to do that. We got to where you can drop off your luggage. So I handed in my luggage and I was like, do you guys know what's going on with this flight? Am I going through? Am I not going through? And they just said, it's okay, just go. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, no, it's okay. Just go, get on your flight. And I was like, so there is a flight? And they were like, just go. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm stressing, but you said go. So I'm going to go here, take my bag. Even though I was concerned they would take my bag and I'd be without all my stuff for 2 days if I had to take a lighter flight, and then I might have issues getting my bag when I get back home. All very stressful things, but I took her at her word. She printed out a boarding pass for me and I went through the gates. And only after waving goodbye to my friend and going through everything was there a board, and I could confirm that my flight was on it and there was a 20-minute delay. And that stressed me out because I had a very, very tight layover. I was supposed to land, and I believe within an hour, my next flight was supposed to take off. And the gate closes half an hour before the flight actually takes off. So it's actually only half an hour between landing and the gate closing. And now there was a 20-minute delay. So I was already going to be running from one gate to another gate to catch my connecting flight. But now it sounded like I was going to land. It was probably going to take 10 minutes to actually disembark the flight, and then the other gate had already been closed. And I was like, this is a problem, especially because it's a connecting flight. I don't want to land in Germany and then be stuck there for a day or two waiting for the next flight back to South Africa. I wouldn't have my stuff. I wouldn't know where to go. I don't know anyone staying near the German airport. I did meet some German friends when I was at my conference, but I don't think they were back home yet either. So it's not like I had a place to crash. And I was like, please tell me that flight's gonna be there. But everyone who was gonna get on the same flight as me were kind of antsy, and some people were South African, I could tell. So I was like, okay, I wouldn't be the only one in this situation at least. Maybe if we complain as a group, they can deal with it. But there was an announcement at some point saying, there is a 20-minute delay, but you'll be fine. We'll get there on time. And I was like, excuse me? What do you mean? And I then looked it up and asked about it afterwards, and it's actually so ridiculous. The pilot essentially just had to speed to Germany. That's how they did it. When they plan everything around a big flight, they look at the route and the fuel usage and the engine thrust and all that to find a way to optimize it as much as possible so you get the most profit out of it with the lowest risk and all those good things. So airplanes don't just fly at one speed. They're just like a car. You can decide how fast or how slow you want to go, and you can push that throttle and just fly a little bit faster. So that is what our pilot did. They essentially rushed to get to Germany. We got there, grabbed my stuff, practically sprinted to the next gate. And let me tell you how ridiculous. I landed at gate A and my gate was gate Z. So I was literally on the other end of the airport. And I was like, how did that happen? How on earth? What are the odds that I'd land at A and have to board at Z. The one time I have a really tight layover. Of course, that's how it's going to work out. So I was there rushing with all the other South Africans all the way down the long hallway in Frankfurt Airport. We got stopped where they had to check our passports. And of course they had to check our passports. I get that, we're going to leave the European Union. But the guys checking our passports had no rush whatsoever. These French guys, they were chatting to each other. They took my passport, this one, and he kind of half looked at it, looked back at his buddy. They kind of just continued their conversation, and I was there vibrating with, can we go, can we go, can we go, can we go? But I'm not going to be rude, I'm not going to say anything. Can we just do this though, please? And after a few moments, he kind of realized, oh, he was holding my passport, and he looked at it again, stamped it, gave it back very lazily, and I was like, thank you very much, and got through there and moved on very quickly. And then after rushing all the way to my gate and getting there on time, I honestly could have just relaxed because all the elderly people had to be loaded on a little car that would drive them through the airport, and the plane was not going to leave without them. But at least I had a minute to sit down there, call my mom, let her know where I am, and catch my breath before I had to jump onto the next flight. So that was the chaotic experience that ended off my trip abroad. It's a trip I really appreciated and I think happened at a good time in my life. I got a whole bunch of videos out of it that I'm going to look back on fondly, and as much as I enjoyed editing them and I'm going to miss it, I'm looking forward to editing the fun things to come. So I hope you are as excited as I am. But then this is the final result. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed editing it for you, and I look forward to seeing you again back home. Bye!